Hello and welcome to Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut, and this is Rising Storm Vietnam. I'm going to give you my first impressions on this title and tell you what it's all about. This is a... So, I guess let's begin. This is a first-person FPS set in the Vietnam War, as you can probably tell. And, well, it's bloody terrific, in my modest opinion. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted by all the action happening. It is a not a very easy game to commentate and try and focus on, I suppose, during one session or at the same time. But I will give my best. So let's talk technicalities. This game is rather cheap, but that's because it doesn't have a single-player campaign. I think you can pick it up for around $20. And it is a realistic, and I would call it decently realistic, shooter, like I said, in the Vietnam War. In terms of vehicles and vehicular combat, don't expect a lot of it. It focuses primarily on infantry, and infantry combat it does really good. However, it does have, so imagine like kill streaks in the Call of Duty titles. This is something like that. Oh, I nearly shot him. That's my dude. Imagine like kill streaks in Call of Duty. Well, it's like that, except you don't earn them by arbitrary kill streaks. You earn them by stuff like support, and you know, you sort of they become available to you through your performance and. As the battle progresses, it's not as arbitrary as they are in Call of Duty, but that's the type of system that they've implemented in order to have vehicles and stuff. You don't get to spawn them in and drive them around like you do in something like Battlefield, for example, which this game does resemble in more ways than one. But in terms of vehicle combat, it has a different approach, shall we say. So, what about the performance? Well, the game performs incredibly well, and it's also very, very satisfying to shoot people and, you know, to suppress target areas and so on and so forth. I really love the fact that suppression is a thing as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit in the future as well, but suppression is a thing, and, well, there you go, I'm suppressed. Oh, I've also been hit. But, yeah. It's a really fantastic, realistic shooter, or at least decently realistic. Recon is in the air. Yeah, there we go. That's actually a grenade that exploded that killed me. All right. Let's take a look at the roles. They're mostly locked right now because that's a pretty damn big map. But you can pick Grunt, Pointman, Machine Gunner, Marksman, Combat Engineer, Grenadier, Radioman, and Commander. I recommend you don't pick the Commander, because it's a... Well, you have a certain responsibility as the Commander, yeah, and I don't think most new players are ready for that, myself included. We are taking Echo. At any rate, that's for the American Army, or for the United States Marines. You do get different classes, but mostly by name for other... For the other faction, but primarily the idea remains the same. You have a variety of roles you can pick, and the objective... Well, what is the objective? You see, the objective varies from map to map. Usually it's a type of capture points and hold them type situation, but you know, the specifics of the points and the and stuff like that depends on the map, and the size of the battle also gravely depends on the map too. There's not that many maps, but the ones that do exist are very well done. Like I said, graphically, I'm quite impressed by the game. It's not the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen, but it's more than serviceable, and it's pragmatic. What do I mean by that? They don't overdo it with the special effects. Yeah, and I'm about to get murdered. They never really overdo it with the special effects, and I really, really like that. I need to bandage myself up. Okay, this is going to be a bit intense. I'm assuming there's snipers and... Yep, that was terrible for me. That was terrible. And with that username as well, Jesus Christ. Why did I switch firing mode? I don't know. So I wanted to experiment. Oh well. What about the player base?
Recon is in the air.
Oh yeah, let me just finish my sentence from the previous line of thought, and then I'll move over to the player base. They don't overdo it with the special effects, meaning they convey the message and they look decent. They look, well, hell, most of the time they look more than decent. They look great, but they don't clutter the screen and make it unrealistic or impossible to see what's going on. They clog up as much vision as they need to. Obviously, if an explosion happens right next to you, you're not going to be able to see a lot. You'll be dead. But if there's like smoke, you'll obviously won't be able to see through it. However, if you're just getting suppressed or there's just bullets flying around you, that shouldn't clog up the screen, and it doesn't. So I really like the balance between having very sort of well, you know, nice looking visual effects and visual effects that just make sense and don't get in the way. It's a fine balance to strike, and they struck it rather well. Obviously, that was a napalm strike. You expect them to be sort of big and impactful, but they don't stick around for long. So it's that type of balancing of the two, I suppose, that does impress me quite a bit. Now let's see if we can't pick someone off in the houses.
Echo is being attacked.
You see, the thing is,
Echo is being attacked.
we're the ones defending here.
Taking Delta.
Oh, sorry, we're the ones attacking here, quite the opposite, and that's
Delta.
it's a bit of a problem because, well,
We are taking
we have an innate disadvantage. But we did capture one of the two areas. I'm going to deploy on my squad leader. Here we go. Let's go, lead the way. Let's try a bit of teamwork. Now, onto the player base. There's not a lot of players playing this. I believe right now there's around 10,000 players, though it is like 3 AM in the morning, so hopefully over the day there's more.
Recon is in the
The
air.
EU time, but really? But from what I've seen thus far, mind you, it is a rather limited experience. They're very sensible people, the vast majority of them. As in, a lot of them, I'll see relatively commonplace communication, which is great for a game like this. People talk with each other and people cooperate. Well, it is fairly early in the game's life cycle, and I'm really... Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm getting specifically targeted. Maybe it's because of my YouTube fame. Maybe it's because I suck at... I'm focusing on what I'm going to say rather than what I'm going to do in the game. But, well, I'm possibly the worst player on the team. That's a hell of a realization to come to at a time like this.
Recon is in the air.
We've almost got it. Just hold on.
Delta is being attacked.
I think I got him. Yep, got one. Alright. And I protected my squad. There you go. I can be useful. Let's put some more fire down there. Don't think I killed him, but...
We have taken Echo.
No,
That mark farther away.
he's still there.
RD support inbound. Take cover.
Where is that fire coming from? I imagine it's from the left. They're hitting that wall right there. I pointed with my fingers, if you can see. I love this type of combat, you know? I love this type of combat. Seeing where the shots are landing, reacting to that, like, slow-paced moving, even though I'm not really playing slowly at all. I sort of slow down now, and I'm having some success. I really love this type of combat. It's something that I always found missing in quite a few games. Really, the only few that I can compare this title to would be something like Red Orchestra or Arma 2 or an Arma 3. That's games that you can see this type of combat, and it's done quite differently. I mean, those games put Arma especially, but Red Orchestra to an extent as well, put a lot of emphasis on vehicle combat. This is just more or less strictly infantry, and boy does it deliver. Obviously, there are a few bugs. I've encountered one where I just wasn't able to move. My character was completely stuck, and I had to try and wiggle out of that situation. Ow. Okay, bullets can go through walls, by the way. Find some better cover.
Recon is in the air.
That's a very big open field. And there's a lot of us over there. I don't think I want to be there.
Spooky is after that.
AC-47 inbound. Take cover.
But, I mean, I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to say for a title like this. It's fairly simple in that, you know, it's fairly simple as in... It's simple to explain. Realistic, two teams, there you go, you've seen the gameplay. You sort of like you either like it or you don't situation, at least I feel like. Based on my initial expressions, I bloody fell in love with this game off the get-go, so yeah. I'll definitely keep playing this in the future, and I'll probably make a few videos about it as well, or a few more videos on it. I look forward to putting a few more hours in here and seeing if I get any better at it over the course of the next few days. No, probably not, but one can hope, I suppose. Would love to get in some sniper gameplay as well, but that's a bit difficult on big maps, as snipers are, well, the community's favourite, apparently. Never actually, thus far, haven't had a chance to play a sniper at all. There's never a slot open. So, yeah. There you go. Ultimately, what do I think about would I recommend it? Like, obviously I already stated that. But is it worth it? Is it worth the money? Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have a single player campaign, but yeah, as a result, the price is reduced. So it's great. It's great. I really have nothing negative to say other than the bugs, the occasional few bugs. I have nothing negative to say about the game. It's great. Go and pick it up, or at the very least, go and watch some more videos of it, and hopefully those will convince you to pick up the game. Fuck, that was close. Alright. I'll show you now the rest of this battle, I suppose. It's a rather big battle, I don't think we're going to finish anytime soon. Oh, we might. Whatever. Shouldn't be too long a video. Let's do it. We're hitting them with napalm now, hopefully to soften them up a bit before our charge.
Capture an objective soon, or we lose.
There's a bunch of them moving over there. Alright, got him. They're moving down the right side in that tree line. Pretty sure that's hostile. No, that was a bit awkward. I think I killed him, maybe this guy did. Yep, that is a hostile. I was hesitant to shoot at him, but I was right. If I can't change the role, I can be a point man. I really don't want to be a point man. One on my squad leader. And it really is the kind of game where, like, you see what it's all about from looking at some gameplay, and I think you'll immediately realise whether this is something that you will enjoy or not. There we go. Got him too, I think. Frag over there. Put some suppression on that flank, because they're moving in around us, and that's, needless to say, not good for business. Right. They're right fucking there, man. Yep. Perhaps I would like to see more medics being put into play. Yeah, as much as I adore the fact that you put one shot through a guy's head and he will die instantly, that kind of realism I love. I would like to see more medics have a more prominent role. I think it would make the entire reality of war a bit, the gritty reality of war a bit more prominent, shall we say, and you could hear like soldiers screaming and stuff. I think it would add an interesting dynamic to the game. Have like medics running around trying to save people, but obviously you should be able to just revive them by giving them a syringe on the battlefield. You should, like, yeah, maybe you have to carry them away and spend some time on reviving them and stuff like that. But that seems like a decent idea to me. At any rate. That was one round, and I think you've seen enough. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have fun, take care, go and pick this game up if you like realistic shooters, because it's bloody amazing. Until next time, have fun. Like I said, bye-bye, and take care.